And thank you for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. National Intelligence Director James Clapper and former acting Attorney General Sally Yates both testified before a Senate panel Monday. Yates says she bluntly warned the Trump administration that National Security Advisor essentially could be blackmailed by the Russians. Charlie Nairn is on the story.
Former acting Attorney General Sally Yates told a Senate Judiciary Subcommittee that just days after the inauguration, she warned the White House about National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Yates testified she issued the warning because Flynn had apparently lied to his bosses about his contacts with Moscow's ambassador in Washington.
The vice president was unknowingly making false statements to the public, and because we believed that General Flynn was compromised with respect to the Russians. We believe that the Russians knew this, and that created a compromise situation, a situation where the National Security Advisor essentially could be blackmailed by the Russians.
The White House later fired Flynn for misleading Vice President Pence and other White House officials. President Trump later fired Yates for failing to enforce his travel ban. Yates was also joined by the former Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper. Both were asked if they had been the source of or had authorized any of those leaks of classified information.
Have either of you ever been an anonymous source in a news report about matters relating to Mr. Trump, his associates, or Russians' attempt to meddle in the election?
No.
Absolutely not.
Yates and Clapper said they did see the names of Americans who have been picked up in the course of intelligence gatherings. Those names are usually kept secret but can be unmasked. Clapper highlighted Russia's hacking involvement in the 2016 presidential election.
The intelligence community assessment concluded first that President Putin directed an influence campaign to erode the faith and confidence of the American people in our presidential election process.
But he says there's no evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russian government. And President Trump blasted the hearing, saying there was nothing new. Charlene Aaron, CBN News.
President Trump is considering an increase in troops in Afghanistan, a move that would reverse President Obama's move to limit the U.S. military role there. The new strategy would authorize the Pentagon rather than the White House to send troops. It would also give the military greater authority to use airstrikes against the Taliban. This comes after Trump stressed his desire to start winning again in Afghanistan. Still, it is unclear whether he will approve this new plan. President Trump announced nearly a dozen new nominees for the lower federal courts. Two of them are even potential Supreme Court nominees to fill Judge Antonin Scalia's seat. Ben Kennedy is on this story.
With the confirmation of Justice Neil Gorsuch complete, President Trump has turned his sights to the lower federal courts. On Monday, the White House announced 10 nominees, including Justice Joan Larson of Michigan and Justice David Strass of Minnesota, to fill the open seats on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 6th and 8th circuits. And both have been pegged as potential nominees for the Supreme Court.
These people will be serving for the rest of their lives. It's life term, it's generations of impact on American law. And so seeing a president who makes that such a priority is very refreshing.
Conservative groups like Judicial Crisis Network praise the president's nominees. Their chief counsel, Carrie Severino, told CBN News that Trump is knocking it out of the park by fulfilling his campaign promise to appoint strong, principled judges.
And Carrie, do you feel with these nominees that President Trump is fulfilling his campaign promises?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we saw out of the gate Justice Gorsuch was a really big fulfillment of that campaign promise. But these are also incredibly important steps in that process.
The White House nominees are far from over. In fact, President Trump has more than 100 openings on the lower federal courts. Trump has hailed the confirmation of Gorsuch as a key achievement in his first days in office. And odds are the new list of nominees will follow along the same lines as Gorsuch, which could reshape the federal judiciary.
These 10 individuals that the president has chosen were chosen for their deep knowledge of the law and their commitment to upholding constitutional principles.
Democrats removed the filibuster for lower court nominees back in 2013, so Trump's picks are expected to have a smooth approval process in the Republican-controlled Senate. Ben Kennedy, CBN News, Washington.
The Trump administration is looking for evidence of crimes committed by Haitian immigrants. Officials are making decisions about the humanitarian program that has shielded tens of thousands of Haitians from deportation since the earthquake in 2010 that damaged most of the country. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Policy Chief is also looking into how many Haitians enrolled in the Temporary Protected Status Program and took advantage of benefits, which is not allowed. It is not clear what will determine their stay within the United States. Still to come, a revolutionary new treatment that is helping victims of trauma, strokes, and even autism. So is this therapy right for you? Find out when CBN NewsWatch returns. It's a special treatment that uses something as common as the air we breathe. Lori Johnson shows us how oxygen can be used to heal our bodies from even the worst injuries.
It's hard to believe Michael Bean Black survived this horrific car crash.
An 18-wheeler cut me, switched lanes and made me turn, so I turned into the median, hit the median, and flipped 9 times. And I was ejected from the car.
And landed on his head. Even the doctors gave up hope.
After 3 days, when the doctor says we're going to take him off life support, and we says it's not going to happen. While he was in the coma, we put up a Beans recovery group on Facebook. We asked everybody that we knew for prayers, and they passed it on to everybody they knew. And we had prayers from all over the world. And I know that's what brought him out of the coma and that we could bring him home.
Michael still suffered from severe injuries, including brain damage. Things turned around after he started getting hyperbaric oxygen treatments.
He couldn't talk, hardly. I mean, he'd say things, but they were things that And they started him in the hyperbaric chamber, and it cleared him up amazingly. We just couldn't believe it, so we just kept bringing him back.
Hyperbaric oxygen therapy involves breathing 100% pure oxygen inside a pressurized chamber for about an hour to an hour and a half.
We normally only breathe about 20% oxygen. Dr. Alfred Johnson says this supercharged oxygen is a natural healer.
With that pressure being present, then the blood vessel is fully saturated with oxygen so that the tissues get 10 to 15 times more oxygen depending upon what the pressure is. Therefore, you get the increase in the healing process and the cell recovery process.
When I first started, I would come here in a wheelchair and have to be wheeled in and get out and go on one of the chambers. And then I moved to a walker, and then I moved to a cane. It helped my muscles because my muscles are really tense, and it relaxed them.
After the first 40 treatments, Michael went back for 40 more a few months later. Costs vary from as little as $100 an hour on up. Insurance and Medicare sometimes offer coverage depending on the condition being treated.
When I first started, I had a bad case of insomnia and couldn't sleep. And then every time I came here, and after I got done with the chamber, I'd go home and fall asleep. My memory has gotten a lot better because I couldn't really remember. I would do something in the morning, by afternoon I'd forget what I'd done. Now I have a pretty good memory.
There's no question that people see the health benefits of oxygen. Just a few years ago, oxygen bars were popping up across the country. But that's a far cry from what proper treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy can achieve.
Mike, are you okay?
And it's easy.
They just put you in this nice glass tube, and you get to watch TV, your ears kind of pop because they put you under pressure. No, it's just like breathing regular air. There's no difference.
Consumers can buy portable hyperbaric oxygen chambers, but they typically deliver far less oxygen and pressure than these industrial-grade ones. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is used to treat conditions like migraines, carbon monoxide poisoning, and stroke.
So you see people that are having trouble with walking. They have much better coordination. They have more strength. And many people are able to get back to normal functioning or close to normal functioning post-stroke.
It's also used by people with burns, hearing loss, and autism.
We see the most response with people with speech problems because there's some deprivation of oxygen. The brain cells aren't working quite right with the speech, and they're able to help with speech problems and recovery.
Hyperbaric oxygen therapy may not be for everyone, but today Michael Black is in far better shape than he or his family ever dreamed possible since his near-fatal car crash. They believe this therapy has a lot to do with his recovery, so they plan to stick with it and hopefully see even more improvement. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Up next, it is one of the bloodiest battle sites in Arab-Israeli history and the filming for CBN's newest docudrama. Scott Ross talks with the producer of the movie In Our Hands, The Battle for Jerusalem, when we come back. The governor of Jakarta is going to prison for his Christian faith. An Indonesian court sentenced Governor Basuki Purnama Tuesday to 2 years for blaspheming the Quran. He said during the campaign, people were being deceived if they believed a specific verse in the Quran forbid Muslims from voting for non-Muslims. His sentence came as a surprise. Prosecutors recommended 2 years of probation. However, it also could have been worse. The maximum sentence for blasphemy in Indonesia is 5 years. Governor Purnama still has significant support in Jakarta, showing increasing signs of religious conservatism in Indonesia. In less than a month, Israelis will celebrate the 50th anniversary of one of the biggest military victories of all time, the Six-Day War. As a tribute to what many see as God's victory, a CBN documentary produced a film, In Our Hands, The Battle for Jerusalem. Scott Ross interviewed the writer and director of the movie In Jerusalem.
By 4:30 a.m., the Israelis had reached the Jordanians' command bunker. For the next 45 minutes, they lined the opening of the bunker with 21 pounds of TNT.
This is Ammunition Hill. This is a site of what is still today the bloodiest battle in Arab-Israeli history.
I talked with In Our Hands, the Battle for Jerusalem writer and director, CBN's Aaron Zimmerman. The docudrama tells the story of Israel's victory in the city during the 1967 Six-Day War through the eyes of the paratroopers.
Did you do reenactments here?
We did. The people who run Ammunition Hill were very great to us, and they let us have the run of the place for 2.5 nights. We had snipers shooting from the bunkers. We had them crawl through the grass, up the hill, through the barbed wire. They even showed us the original bunker. The battle kind of ended when the Israelis got to the top of the hill and they found the Jordanian command bunker. And they took 21 pounds of TNT and blew that sucker into next week. And so they showed us that and they said, well, you're welcome to use this bunker again to stage your explosion. And we thought, great. You know, if it survived a real explosion, it can survive a fake movie one.
Based entirely on facts, the film includes dramatizations of important scenes like Commander Motor talking to troops on the Mount of Olives.
We are sitting on a ridge overlooking the old city, and soon we shall enter it. The old city of Jerusalem, which generations have dreamed of and longed for. We will be the first to enter.
And running through the streets of Jerusalem under threat of sniper fire to take the Temple Mount and Western Wall.
We had done another docudrama, The Hope, about the beginning of Israel, and we thought, what's the next chapter in that story? And we went to 67, and it's such a great story, and we thought, well, let's not do a dry documentary. Let's get to know some of the men who actually lived it.
And digging into all the background, historical data, etc.,
That must have been an enormous undertaking.
I tried to use primary sources as much as I could. I tried to use people's diaries. I tried to use minutes from Israeli government meetings. I used personal interviews, but all of the dialogue in the film was recorded in history.
As a result of the war, Israel tripled in size, beating the combined armies of Syria, Egypt, and Jordan to win the Golan Heights, the Sinai Desert, and Judea and Samaria, and reuniting beloved Jerusalem.
To cover the whole war would take too much time. So we narrowed it down to the Battle of Jerusalem, and then we narrowed it down further to one group of men, the 55th Paratrooper Brigade. And I really liked them because they weren't regular army. They were the reservists. They were a little bit older. They were the husbands and the fathers and the businessmen. And they were the guys that ended up going into Jerusalem.
We shouldn't wait for that to change. Let's go. Step on it, Bensu.
I mean, these actors are very realistic.
Oh, they're great, yeah.
Did it have an effect on the actors themselves? Because it's more than just history. This is in many cases, their fathers, their grandfathers. They're depicting this. How did they respond to that?
I had a lot of guys tell me their personal family histories. I had so many guys say to me, well, my grandfather was in the Holocaust, or my grandfather, in one case, Sharon Friedman, who played Motikor, his grandfather was one of the guys who fought for Jerusalem in '48 and saw the whole siege and everything.
The little woman who came and offered up the flag, she wanted that flag to be used and flown
at the Western Wall.
At the Western Wall. I mean, that brought tears to my eyes.
Oddly enough, the paratrooper Yoram Zamosh, who's part of that story, I asked him, did you ever see that family again? And he said, we did. And he said, a few months after the war, the old grandmother had passed away.
Really?
She was waiting. She had lived through getting kicked out of her home in '48, and she had lived through all of that, hoping to see Jerusalem reunited.
From start to finish, Zimmerman worked on the film for just a year. But was there anything that you uncovered, something unknown, not something that you just didn't know anything about at all?
What was interesting to me was the response to the paratroopers. When they came into town, they were heroes. These families came out. Now, keep in mind, there was also a blackout because of the Jordanian shelling. There was all of that going on, and still these women would come out of their houses with food.
How did it affect you personally?
From the film side, I learned what an amazing thing can happen when everybody works together and you have so many good people doing what is their specialty, whether it's training the army, whether it's doing makeup, whether it's doing explosives. What I took away from the war, there are two things you can do in life. You can practice and plan, and just the hard work and living something to see that result come out the way that it did. Or you can be in a situation like the paratroopers where you train for one thing, then life throws you another way. And can you adapt to that?
I asked Zimmerman what she wants the audience to take away from the film.
Well, two things. I tried hard to keep it as apolitical as possible to give it a wider audience. Number one, I want them to see the sacrifice that these men made. Number two, we went back 20 years to 1948 to what happened when the Jewish quarter fell and the Jordanians ethnically cleansed every Jew from the old city of Jerusalem. And then at the end of this segment, the Jordanian officer says, "We have so completely destroyed this place that no Jew can ever return here." So then we fast forward 19 years and show how they did.
And what will Israelis think of the film?
I hope it will be good. I want people to take away a pride in their heritage.
And after all the bloodletting and everything else that's occurred here historically, there's no way that Israel, Jews are going to give up this city.
No, I don't think so. I mean, Moshe Dayan said it when he got to the Western Wall. We've come to the city never to depart from it again.
Scott Ross at Ammunition Hill in Jerusalem.
In Our Hands, The Battle for Jerusalem is in theaters Tuesday, May 23rd. Check our website, cbn.com, for ticket information. It is a movie you won't want to miss. Stay with us. There's more CBN NewsWatch straight ahead. CBN is offering humanitarian relief to the children in San Isidro, Chalco, that is in Mexico. A special event was specifically created to help the children there. It is called the Smiles Club, and it targeted children's dental needs. The event helped 50 children who benefited from more than 100 dental treatments. As a result, more than 100 evangelistic brochures were distributed, and 22 children said they gave their lives to Jesus Christ. It is now time for your Tuesday Tweetable. It's a message we hope will inspire and move you to share with others. Consider this: God has created us to worship. It is His call for us to do daily. Make this Tuesday a day of worship in every way possible. With that word, make this a terrific Tuesday. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. God bless.